Hello, House of Mouse Reviews here for today's fairly quick review, to be fair. I mean, honestly, I was unsure of how long it would take for me to get this review done, but after watching it literally just today, I've kind of actually got my thoughts pretty much all figured out with this film. So, might as well get started. Now, I've known about the movie Goat for a very, very long time. Like I'd say when it got announced, 2024, I think it was. I've known about this movie for a while, and I was interested to see what this will be like. And I mean, obviously, this was a basketball movie and all that. And okay, we're doing a bit of Zootopia themes a bit, is what people are saying. But I was interested to see what they would do and whether or not, well, if we get a more proper anime basketball movie than any of the Space Jam films. And I kept it in mind. This was probably going to be the movie I see in March for this year, but it was going to be tough to say. But yeah, I gave it a go, and I just seen it, and I think this is probably one of the safest movies I've ever seen in a very long time. Like this film plays it so safe with a lot of very different, with a lot of the key elements to a good film, which in turn makes it very forgettable and boring. Okay, I mean, the premise, okay, it's sort of what you get with these normal sports movies and all that, and everything with the young, the young kid who wants to be a key sports player, but is told he cannot do it because he's not, big enough, old enough, that whole sort of thing. Well, in this case, he's a goat, and all the animals who play this basketball competition in this universe, known as Raw Ball, all season predators, and he's considered medium class. And but he because of being spotted online by a team's owner, well, corrupt owner, which okay is probably not is probably a little bit different from most. I mean, but products like product of its time, I guess. Looking forward, but yeah, he gets spotted, he gets drafted, and he has to earn the trust of his teammates, who they consider an outsider, especially the team's captain, who is also his greatest idol. And I will say this is that look, most sports movies do this exact formula, and I mean, I like sports movies. I think they can be really good, but my favorites are always the ones that are actually based on true stories. I mean, when I look at, say, Invictus or Remember the Titans, they're all based on they're my favorite sports movies, but they are all based on actual events, actual stuff that happened. And if you're going to do something original, unless it's actually going to try to be a social a satire of things, an actual full-on comedy, which they do sprinkle in humor in this, and I wouldn't really call it, you know, perf perfect. I mean, to be fair, it's all juvenile humor. It's all for kids, but it's jokes you see so many times in other films. Okay, okay. I think you can guess what joke gets used in this, what bit of toilet humor happens, and yeah, yeah, that's what I think about those jokes. And but there are some ideas that for jokes, and even they do a bit of a what a goat act when the goat actually does his barring. That was actually I could see where that could work. So I didn't laugh, but at least I could see how that joke could work for others. But yeah, I thought it was. But basically the elements that work in this are the animation, which is still in the style of Sony Spider-Verse movies and K-pop Demon Hunters, and yeah, it's great to see this on the big screen. Like seriously, Sony, since the exception of Spider-Verse, has stuck to releasing the animated product projects on Netflix or other streaming services. So it's great to see us get out on the big screen, and I really hope this turns out a good product and convinces Sony to do more of these. Um, and the way it described Roll um, is actually pretty fascinating. I want to know more about this game and everything, like the how the different ports work and all that, being set in different environments and all that. I mean, it's sort of like Mario, like the Mario sports games, like because they're all these differently designed ports, and they're all just so chaotic and everything, and how they all move around and everything. This is very fascinating, and I reckon this could really work as a good video game. To be fair, but I think the industry's past doing video game adaptations to movies and all that, but this could have really worked. Yeah, this whole game, I want to know more about it. But the problem is, well, the story, which I've already pretty much said, it's just going by the numbers. There's nothing new here. It's just so safe and plain. And I think they're trying to bank on the concept of their sport they created to be the what keeps audiences sucked in, which can work, but you need more to it, and this story doesn't provide it. And the characters, I mean, well, these archetypes. You know what the main protagonist is. The protagonist who is trying to prove himself. The 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 hero he looks up to originally looks down upon him and all that. The greedy business owner, the rival players, the crazy and bit strange teammates, the friends who will never give up on him from back home. The dead mother. Jeez, yeah, you get it. You've seen this all before, and I think two of the teammates. Well, not the the hero, the captain. There were two teammates I thought were interesting. One was was I think it was a rhinoceros who is a single father and looking after his in two twin daughters. He was actually pretty fascinating. Fascinating. I could see something with him there. And the other is a ostrich who is afraid of what social media thinks of her because she keeps on because of all the mistakes that get shown and streamed on social media, and she has anxiety problems with that. Those two I found her pretty fascinating. These two characters were probably the closest I could think of where I wanted, were my favorites in it. But I wish we could be given more of them because they're not really the main players. But the other two teammates, I mean, the giraffe, who is also a bit of a rapper, uh, yeah, I don't know, and that reptile, I think it was an iguana or something like that. He's way too eccentric. But yeah, it's a shame, and even the villains, like the greedy owner of the team and the rival captain, um, they're not really in it that much, and it's hard to really say they're actually really threats and antagonists. Like they're just that again, the archetypes, but you need more time with them if you're going to establish them as threats, as villains and all that, but you don't get it. So it's very, very like just like, oh, here they are. Hope you we're not going to give you any more of them. It's just like blink and you miss a thing. Honestly, you can forget about them. Yeah, it's a very, very strange movie, and I'm getting the opinion that a lot of internet critics are very split on this. Like, they're giving it, well, majority of the written ones are giving this pretty glowing praise, I think. The internet ones are being more mixed on it, and I'm definitely in that mixed category. This is just so safe, so plain. There's not much flavor. And there could be more, but they just didn't focus on it. And it's a shame too, because again, I really could see what could the elements of the animation and their concept of basketball is pretty fascinating. but we didn't get enough time to stew on the story and the characters to really make this a good film. So yeah, this is going to be I think I'm going to have to give it probably a 4 actually, 4 out of 10 has stars. I was really disappointed with this, and I'm not saying I'm actively calling. I wish I hadn't have gone watch it. No, I think it's not at that stage, but it's just so safe, and by playing it so safe, you pretty much disengaged me from it. So yeah. In terms of what's next, well, in terms of movies coming out in theaters, it will be the Super Mario Galaxy movie. That is a certainty. As for what comes out in between, just wait and see. There might be some surprises here and there. Potentially even the next of my video game collection videos. Just go wait and see about that. But in the meantime, House of Friends Reviews is out, and I shall see you for my next video. Ciao!